こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材は、サッカー日本代表に関する動画です。ヨーロッパのフットボールや代表チームのフットボールに詳しいマイケル・トークスフットボールでは、6月の代表期間を終えたタイミングで、現時点での世界の代表チームについて、独自のパワーランキングを発表しています。引用元の動画ではトップ20と、数カ国について、なぜランク外なのかという補足もしていますが、この動画では、トップ20からトップ10までの部分を切り取っています。アフリカ、南米、ヨーロッパの他の大陸でも、日本と同じレベルの国がわかるようで、興味深い動画だと思いますし、思ったよりも日本を上位にしているという印象でした。実際にどのように話しているのか、チェックしてみましょ
う。20th place for me is Ivory Coast. I know they had a disappointing June window losing to New Zealand. Yes, New Zealand, Ivory Coast lost to, but they are still a defensively solid team, and they are the reigning AFCON champions. Have they been performing at their elite level since the AFCON? I wouldn't say so. They've tried a lot of different lineups, and Ivory Coast are blessed with talent like Gason. I mean, Ama Diallo. They have so many good players. Adingra. I can go on and on. Ndika in defense. So Ivory Coast, they haven't played sexy football. It's been a lot of 1-0s, 2-0s. I feel like at the World Cup, they could still be a defensively strong team and rely on the young generation that they got going forward. Do I feel like they could creep into the top 15 by the time next year? Possibly. And they haven't played well in the World Cup qualifiers recently. They haven't. They scraped by Burundi. They lost to New Zealand. So I think Ivory Coast are slowly falling out from this top 20. But you still have to respect the reigning AFCON champions. That when they play to their full potential, they can beat a lot of teams around this world. 19th is Colombia. I mean, Colombia have fallen off a cliff, people. A cliff. I mean, you look at artists from Colombia, Karol G, Ryan Castro, their careers are going crazy up. But the Colombian national team, they're falling apart. Since the Copa America, this team is unrecognizable. They look like a shadow of the team that made it to that final full of confidence. They're doing the salsa, they're dancing and they're loving life. But now it's like, hey, I don't think anybody wants to turn up. Yon Duran is acting like a kid out there. They have quality. That's one thing we have to respect about this Colombian team. They got the quality, but they're definitely not playing like it. I mean, you look at the performances against Paraguay at home, Peru at home. I mean, go away to Argentina, good performances, but away to Bolivia, it's just been such dreadful performances from Colombia. Potential-wise and with quality-wise, they should be top 15. And maybe last year, last summer, they were actually in the top 10 of these power rankings. That's how much they have fallen off a cliff. And for me right now, they're 19th. 18th then is Austria with Ralf Rangnick. I mean, I love this team. As a neutral, it's like you want to sit down, grab some popcorn, maybe get a beer, and you want to watch Austria ball out because the fluid football, the intensity they play out, the pressing, it's just wonderful. Every time Sabitzer plays for Austria, he turns into one of the best midfielders in the world. And all of the players, they just buy into Ralf Rangnick's style of football, what he wants to deliver with this team. I think at the Euros, they got a little bit unlucky against Turkey in the round of 16. I mean, look, they beat Netherlands in the group stage. So this team should be respected, and they should be qualifying to this World Cup. Yes, they have a somewhat difficult group with Bosnia and Romania, but Austria should be qualifying to the World Cup. And I feel like the World Cup, they're going to cause some problems to a lot of teams because of the style of play they have and because of the manager, Ralf Rangnick, and that's why I got them 18th. 17th then is Gustavo Alvaro's Paraguay. They are unstoppable at the moment, people. I know they just lost to Brazil. Before that game against Brazil, under Gustavo Alvaro, they were unbeaten in 9 games. Defensively solid. They don't keep a lot of possession of the ball, but when they have possession of the ball, every chance they get, it seems like it's a goal. And Enciso is turning out to be one of the best players for them. Gustavo Gomez in defense. I mean, this team just love Gustavo Alvaro, and he has completely changed this power rankings. Paraguay were not even close to it after the Copa America. Not even close. They might have not even been top 40 for the way they were playing. They got destroyed by Brazil. They lost to Costa Rica. And now Paraguay have jumped all the way to 17th for me. And I think they will keep getting better and better. And I think they are a difficult team to play against at that World Cup next year because they don't need possession of the ball. And Enciso, with a lot of good players, I think they're going to cause some trouble. But obviously still a year out. But if Paraguay can continue this fortune, I think they're going to be a strong team next year at the World Cup. 16th then is Denmark. Not the most consistent of sides, but potential and quality, they're still there. And you have to respect what they have done in the last couple of years. Yes, the World Cup didn't go so great. The Euros, they did somewhat decent. I just feel like it was the end of the road for Kasper Hjulmand. And now they got a new manager in. They're starting to play a better brand of football. And I think Denmark, they just have so many good players and a lot of interesting pieces. I just feel like this team, they need to move on from Rasmus Højlund, give it to Mika Bjereth or something like that to really get the full potential of this Danish side. Because last year at the Euros, their problem was goal scoring. Rasmus Højlund was just not good enough. I feel bad for him because his career has gone really badly since the move to Manchester United. Denmark are still a team to be respected, and that's why I got them 16th. 15th then is Senegal. After a great victory over England, one of the most historic victories in the nation's history. Yes, it's a friendly. They beat England. In England, people. The first time England have ever lost to an African team. What a historic moment. And Papa Diaw, I know this team have been very, very frustrating to watch since the AFCON. Like, they don't score a lot of goals. I feel like with Papa Diaw, he's trying to get the forward line going a little bit more. And Senegal, with the young generation, because now they've moved on from the core that won the AFCON in 2021. This new core, like with Lamine Camara, Nico Jackson, and these sort of players, they're exciting to watch. And I think the midfield is getting stronger and stronger for Senegal. If they can evolve to their final form, Senegal at that World Cup, they could reach around the 16 quarterfinal, people. That's the potential they have. But you see in the World Cup qualifiers, it's 1-0, 0-0, sort of hanging on against Sudan away from home. Senegal haven't been the most consistent of sides, but I think the England game really highlighted to me that if they play to their full potential, they can beat some teams around this world. So that's why I got them 15th. 14th is Belgium. I know Rudi Garcia is terrible. Rudi Garcia is a terrible manager. The only reason why I have them at this high of a ranking is because they have the quality and they have the potential. But we saw at the Euros, even if they have quality, they're not going to do much. They'll be around the 16 team at the World Cup. And I feel like that's where they're at the moment. They are a good side and they will progress out of the groups no matter what. They'll pass a team in the round of 32, depending who it would be. But they will be around the 16 team, and that's an exit for Belgium. Whereas before, the aspirations were quarterfinals, semi-final, but now Rudi Garcia, the defense is such a liability. If Belgium can somehow fix the defense, which I don't know how they're going to do it because of personnel, the center backs are not good enough. De Kuyper, baller. Kevin De Bruyne still doing it at elite level. Lukaku still playing at elite level. Belgium got a lot going forward and midfield-wise, but that defense will cost them at the World Cup. And Rudi Garcia is just not a good manager. I think they are still a good side, but when we're talking about the big boys around the world, they're not there. They're not a top 10 team anymore. That's why I got them 14th. 13th then is Switzerland. Always, 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 people will disrespect Switzerland, not give them credit, not back them, and they will surprise you. Every single tournament, World Cup, Euros, you name it, Nations League, oh my God, Switzerland, what are they going to do here? They're going to fumble this time, and they perform every single game, people. You have to respect the Swiss and Mori Akin and what they do. Jasadi, the Swiss midfielder from Club Brugge, that's a player to watch out for next year. Obviously, he's been linked now to Milan, but that's a quality that Switzerland still have with the younger generation, mixed in with the experienced players like Xhaka. I think Switzerland are still an underrated team, and they will always qualify to the World Cup and Euros and always progress out of the group. And I feel like Switzerland are going to be, yet again, another round of 16 opponent. But we saw at the Euros, they were 2 minutes away from advancing to the semifinals of those Euros. Only took a Saka brilliant goal to deny them. But Swiss, I think they are still a very good side, and that's why I got them 13th. 12th, I got Morocco. This is a difficult one. They're in cruise control in the World Cup qualifiers. I mean, they're not even getting tested. Who's going to test them? Tanzania? Come on now. The real test for Morocco and where they could just swing out of these power rankings or solidify their spot and even go higher up in the power rankings will be at that AFCON. Yes, they're hosting it. I think that adds so much pressure to this young players and all of the quality they got. Ben Seguir, Unahi, I mean, so many good players that Morocco have at their disposal, that there is so much pressure to perform at the AFCON and perform again at the World Cup. Do I think they can be another semifinal team? Right now, no, but anything can happen in the next year. And for me, they are still the best team on paper in Africa, but they have to prove it. They will keep this position in the top 20 of the power rankings probably until March next year, after I do the power rankings after the March window and the AFCON. It's cool beating the Tanzanias or what other sides in your World Cup qualifying group, but you have to perform against the best of the best in Africa to go up against the best and the best in the world. But you cannot deny, when Morocco, with the quality they got, and Hakimi, the way he balled out this season for PSG, they are a fun team to watch. Can be frustrating against low blocks, but Out of possession, I think this team are very dangerous, especially with the counterattacks. 11th then is Japan. And this is the greatest hope possible for the AFC. My only AFC team in this top 20 rankings. Moriyasu and the players, I think they should be under massive pressure to perform next year at that World Cup. The objective is the quarterfinals. Anything less is a disappointment and a failure. No, there cannot be any more, oh, Japan, they made it to round of 16. Oh, they beat these good sides in the group stage. It's a success. No. Now it is the time to make it to the knockout stages and win a knockout stage game. And win 2 of them. Round of 32, round of 16. You know why? Because Japan are a damn good team. Sometimes in these World Cup qualifiers, they're half-assed. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll just show up here with our quality. The opposition will just lay down and we'll run through them. No. Japan, you have to prove it. Okay, it's nice beating the China, the Indonesia, away and at home, 7-0, 6-0. But you need to beat an Australia, a Saudi Arabia. They did only once. They only beat Saudi Arabia away. Otherwise, they lost to Australia, drew with Australia, and drew with Saudi Arabia at home. So I just want to see Japan, with these friendlies coming up in the next year, go up against an Argentina, go up against a Brazil, go up against these top teams, and to see how you can do against those sides and see how Moriyasu wants to play against those teams. Japan have all the potential to go far at this World Cup, but it will come down to Moriyasu and his tactics and lineup choices, but they are still a top 15 team in this world. That's why I got them 11th. Now we get into the top 10 people. 10th place is Ecuador. They have the potential to be such a dangerous team at that World Cup. For me right now, they have the best defense in international football. Hands down. There's no way you can penetrate past this defense with Ordóñez, Pacho, Hincapié. They are such an irresistible force defensively. Midfield-wise, you have Caicedo and Pedro Vite balling out. But that attack is just not good enough. Who is going to score the clutch goals in the clutch moments at that World Cup to say, yeah, Ecuador can make it to the quarterfinal? The only way they're going to progress far at that World Cup is if they do Paraguay 2011. 0-0, penalty shootout win. 0-0, penalty shootout win. That's the only way for Ecuador. Unless they can fix this attack, find the right personnel, and that comes down to Bekasese. Imagine telling this to an Ecuadorian 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, you'll be top 10 in power rankings. Oh, Michael Talks Football channel. They saw the vision, people. I think they would have taken it. But now it's like, you see the potential of this side and how good the defensive midfield is. You're like, just the attack. Fix yourself. Fix yourself with something. Give the attack, I don't know, Encebollado or Seco de Pollo. Maybe that will fix them. But Ecuador, they can be a strong team at the World Cup because of how good they are defensively. If they can get their attack firing, I think they could get into the 7th, 8th position here. There's a reason why they're second place in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers when they started on -3 points. There's a reason why, because they are such a difficult team to play against. Like going away to Colombia, down to 10 men for almost 85 minutes and still winning. Incredible performances, but Ecuador is still the 10th best team in the world right now for me, and they can get higher up in these rankings or fall off even more if the attack is not clicking.
次は解説です。マイケルは英語ネイティブではないと思いますので、文法的にも発音的にも少し微妙に感じることがありますが、ボキャブラリーもあまり解説するようなものも多くなかったため、今回も少し短めの解説パートをチェックしてみましょ
う。And they are the reigning AFCON champions.
レインは王や女王が支配することを表す単語です。例えば、女王が国を治めているという場合などに使われますが、スポーツやエンタメでもよく使われます。レーニングチャンピオンは現在のチャンピオンという意味で、例えばワールドカップで優勝した国が次の大会までレインしている、つまり君臨していることを表します。また、抽象的な感情にも使え、恐怖が支配するというような表現もあります。名詞でも動詞でも使えるので、例文をよく見て用法を覚えると便利です。
And they are the reigning AFCON champions. And they are the reigning AFCON champions. That's how much they have fallen off a cliff.
fall off a cliff は直訳で崖から落ちるですが、よく比喩的に使われ、急激な悪化を表します。例えば、スポーツで選手の調子が急に悪くなった時や、会社の売り上げが突然落ちた時などに使われます。感覚的には、どん底に落ちるや、ガタ落ちするという感じで、日本語では、急降下や崩れるなどが近いです。ネイティブも日常会話やニュースでよく使います。
That's how much they have fallen off a cliff. That's how much they have fallen off a cliff. They just buy into Ralph Rangnick's style of football.
バイイントは単なる買うではなく信じる、受け入れる、賛成するという比喩的な意味でよく使われるフレーズです。例えば、チームメンバーが監督の方針に従うという場合に使われます。誰かの考えや価値観に心から共感したときや、そのアイデアを自分のものとして受け入れるイメージで、逆に否定形では私はその考えに賛同しないとなります。ネイティブが頻繁に使う自然な表現なので、覚えておくと実践的です。
They just buy into Ralph Rangnick's style of football. They just buy into Ralph Rangnick's style of football. They're half-assed.
ハーフアストはカジュアルでやや下品な表現で、中途半端、手抜き、やる気がないといった否定的な意味を表します。もともとの意味は、片方のお尻しか使ってないという風変わりな比喩から来ていて、まともにやっていないというニュアンスが強いです。例えば、テスト勉強をサボってざっとやっただけの時、勉強を手抜きしたという意味で使われます。ただし、目上の人やフォーマルな場では不適切なので、友人同士やインフォーマルな会話で使いましょ
う。They're half-assed. They're half-assed. They are such an irresistible force defensively.
イレジスティブルは、抗えない。非常に魅力的でつい引き寄せられてしまう。という意味の形容詞です。例えば、人の魅力、食べ物、チャンス、提案など、あらゆる魅力に負けてしまう対象に対して使うことができます。英語ではよく、魅力的すぎる提案や、抑えきれない衝動という形で使われます。肯定的な文脈で使われることが多く、会話でも文章でも活用頻度の高い語彙です。
They are such an irresistible force defensively. They are such an irresistible force defensively.
いかがでしたか？ FIFA のランキングでは現在日本は15位で、次回の更新時には17位に落ちる予定ですが、このパワーランキングで11位とされているのは、日本の評価が皆さんが思っていたよりも高かったのではないでしょうか。前後のチームを見ると、日本の立ち位置がわかるようですが、確かに良い勝負ができ、勝つ可能性も負ける可能性もあるような力関係が拮抗している国だなと感じました。それでも、第三者の視点から、FIFA ランキングでは日本よりも高い国である、モロッコやコロンビアよりも上であり、同じく FIFA ランキングでは日本よりも高い国でも、ウルグアイ、メキシコ、アメリカなどはランク外で、FIFA ランキングでは日本の少し下ながら、直近でイングランド相手に快勝したセネガルよりも上であり、なかなか日本を評価していると同時に、なかなか正確と思えるようなランキングであったように感じます。同じレベルのこのトップ20からトップ10のチームが、実際にはワールドカップでベスト8を競っていくようなチームになると思いますので、よりワールドカップへの道の険しささえも感じつつ、ワールドカップまでの道のりも、また今後の代表チームの戦いを楽しみにしたいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。